There are two game boards in the game of Olympus. There's the main game board, which I'll show you in just a moment. And there's this game board, which is the different advancements that your civilization can learn while you play the game. These tiles that are located on here are placed here randomly. Each tile has a color associated with it, like this one is yellow, and there's a yellow spot there. And then there's red up here, and green, and a very purplish looking blue, and a very bluish looking purple, ha ha ha. And then these down here are wonders that you can create. Now, when you start the game, you like I said, you place these randomly, and the reason you do that is because each one of these different advancements on every single one of these spots has a certain cost associated with it. So, like right now, this is map making, and which helps you cross sea zones easier. And it costs, you probably can't see this, but it costs 2 stone and a food to create that. Well, every single game it won't be like that. If the next game you play, for example, map making might end up over on this spot, and so for the next time you play, it would cost 2 gold and a wood to create map making. Obviously the components needed to create whatever it is might not make sense, but that's put in the game so the game's fresh and you can't just use the same strategy over and over again. On the backs of each one of these tiles, there is a number along with the color. You can see there's a green 3, green 4, and green 5. Depending on the number of people, you just take out the number that isn't playing. So with a 3-player game, you're only going to use 1 tile, 4-player use 2, 5-player use all 3. Pretty simple. And also, very easy to set up, which is very nice. If you decide that you're going to build an advancement, when you play the game, you have 2 choices. You can either move a settler around on the board trying to take over different land, or you can decide to build an advancement or a wonder. Now, advancements, you have to spend resources. And so you just have to make sure that your civilization has control of the resources on the board, or that they have colored cube resources that are like basically expendable one-shot resources, as opposed to just controlling an area that creates that. After you decide that you're going to build something, you take one of your little discs, and everybody has a ton of these, and you choose the reward that you want to gain for building that particular advancement. So, like say this is astronomy here, and below this you have the option of taking either a disc, which means you gain another settler, and I'll explain this in just a moment, it might be a little beyond you right now, or you can take 2 hourglass tokens. And when you have hourglass tokens, basically you can deduct time from how long it takes you to do your next action. And so you just place that on either one, and then you take the tile and you put that in front of you, and now you've earned that tile, it can't be taken away from you, and you're going to be using that. Now, all of these cost resources to build, like say this one is 2 gold and 2 food, and here's 2 food and 2 lumber or wood. And some of these have little gray numbers, like this one has a little gray 3. That just means any 3 of the same resource and you can build this one. And this one has like a 1 + 1 + 1 gray, meaning that's 1 resource plus 1 other resource plus 1 other resource. So 3 separate resources, and you can build this advancement. The only difference to this is the wonders, and the wonders don't really give you anything but points, but they still a lot of points, so they're useful. But you can see there's these little star tokens off to the side here, and basically you have to have that many star tokens in your possession that you've earned through cards or through advancements to build the wonder. And these wonders are usually built right there towards the end of the game, because that's how long it takes you to build up all those different star tokens to take these items. And that's this board. That's how it's used. So this is all part of the whole time management, since it takes 7 time units to build these. And later on you might earn something that'll allow you to spend less to build certain advancements. But since it costs a lot of time to do it, you can't just take all of them. You have to kind of mix and match. You got to figure out which ones are going to work best for you. And that's how this board works. I really like it. I like how it's random. I kind of wish it was a little bit bigger because all these symbols are kind of tiny. You know, I mean, admittedly, these little circles are like the perfect size for these tokens, but I don't like how, you know, basically if somebody's sitting a little further away from the table, they're like, what does it take? What does it take to build that? You know, and they got to come over and take a look. And I guess I just wish it was a little bit larger. And I also wish that maybe the icons that they used for the different resources were a little more distinct. I mean, yes, they are the color and everything like that, but the food and the wood are very kind of. I've had more than a few of my friends mistake one for the other, and so maybe I don't know. Ultimately, does it work? Yes. Am I kind of quibbling at that point to even bring that up? Maybe a little, but you know, that's just my opinion, and you can take it for what it's worth. So let's move on to the main game board, and I'll show you how you take each turn.